for our country. And you guys are a serious partner in our economy. It is the money that you send home that we use to pay our public debt. It is the money that you send home we use to run our embassies. It is the money that you send home we use for importation of goods. For any country to succeed economically, you need a very strong partnership with the diaspora. You know, for those of us who rear some dairy cows, the dairy animal, the dairy cow, if you want milk from it, you must look after it. And you must make sure the cow is happy. You must give it hay, you give it lucerne, you give it dairy meal. In fact, nowadays we are giving them mattresses to sleep on so that they don't feel cold. And some people have even become very imaginative. You play them country music, Ken Rogers and Don Williams, so that they give you milk. The diaspora brigade is the dairy cow of the Kenyan economy. We must look after the diaspora people to agree to inject their money into our economy. And your money is huge. If we have programs to give you incentives to invest your money back home, we don't have to borrow money from other countries. Your money is enough to run our economy. So I look forward to a partnership where we shall agree with you people how we give you incentives to bring your money back home. We want you to come and start factories. We agree, we give you a tax holiday for several years, that there is no taxation if you set up a factory, so that you can create employment home and expand the tax bracket. We want to agree with you if we can have a diaspora bond where we can have a special interest package where you bring your dollars home, you earn a certain interest rate much higher than the country where you have come from. There are many things we shall discuss. And I don't understand what is wrong with Ruto. When we need your money, when I'm here, I think early in the week, the central bank issued a circular that they want to go to homes where you send money and talk to your mothers and your uncles and your brothers to find out how much money you send them. You know, you guys have already paid tax and you are helping your mother because the hospitals are not working. You are helping your brothers because the education system has failed. Yet the president now is asking central bank to go to homes and to get data on the money that you send home. Tell your mothers and your fathers and your brothers that that is illegal. They should not divulge any information to anybody. If William Ruto wants to know how much money you send home, he should come here and talk to you. Please, William Ruto, don't harass our parents. Don't harass poor people back at home whose only crime is being held by people in the diaspora because your country is not working. If things were working, these people would not be sending them back home. They needed the money themselves, but they send money home because things are not working. So that is being intrusive. We don't want too much government into people's lives. The work of government is to give services to the people. Let William Ruto build roads and hospitals, provide water, electricity, sewage, internet. That is what Kenyans want. But he cannot send people in homes with the fitina to ask people, oh, I hear your daughter is in America, how much does she send you? That is rubbish. And you must tell the people you help at home, there is no legal requirement for them to divulge the help you give them. That is very personal. That is personal information. It's like asking you why you love your wife. Do you have to give that information? It's privileged personal information that is confidential. So please tell your beneficiaries, those you help, not to give that information to anybody. Again, I want to interest you to invest home. Let's have a discussion. That is your country. Things are working here. Why not? Yesterday, I spent a day in Silicon Valley. And I went to Google, I went to Meta, and things are working. And what is amazing, at Meta I found 35 Kenyans who are driving Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Kenyans, young Kenyans, knowledgeable. At Google I found a Kenyan there, a young guy there. They are the guys behind the success of that great establishment. Later on I met executives in the Silicon Valley running successful businesses. And you know, when I listen to people at Google, I listen to people at Meta on the ideas they have on innovations, on artificial intelligence, I was so embarrassed that despite having that kind of capacity with Kenyans to turn around our digital information technology, that our Minister for ICT is William Kabogo. Are you also not embarrassed? It's embarrassing. A guy who knows nothing about IT. He has no idea whatsoever. Yet we have Kenyans who are driving mega corporations in matters innovation here in the United States and all over the world. These are the Kenyans that I seek to partner with when we form government to transform our country. And I'm saying on a very serious note, you guys have demonstrated capacity to succeed in a foreign land. I want you to help us transform our country like the way you have done it here in the United States. All we need to do is to give you the opportunity. And you have a proven track record of success. Our embassies here abroad, we must ask you guys to help us run them. As somebody who has lived here in the United States for 30 years, a CEO of a company who has worked all over the States, has the necessary papers, PhD, masters. That is somebody you can give the embassy in Washington to learn. And that person knows everything. They know what Kenyans want, what challenges they are facing. They know these Americans, for them to attract them to invest at home, what they want, how to handle them, because they have been here with them. You go to Kenya, an ambassador is appointed for 4 years. You get a politician, you appoint him ambassador to Washington. The first 1 year he comes is to look for a house, run and learn to know the streets and to know his way around here, and look for a school for his children. 1 year is gone. The second year he is trying to make friends with the Americans and the Kenyan people. A year is gone. The third year is to sit down to say, now that I know friends and networking, what can we do? He spends the whole year to do the plan. Then the fourth year is done, he is recalled. But you guys, if you are appointed on Monday, on Tuesday you go and start working. You know everything. You know everybody. You know what needs to be done. So it's something that I want to do. Get the people out there to run our embassies on behalf of our country. Take care of Kenyans in those countries and have a serious network with the people of that foreign country and attract them to come and invest back home. That is a commitment that I want to give, and we're going to do it together. Again, as I wind up so that I can give you an opportunity to ask me a few questions, there is a bill that was brought in the Senate here calling for an investigation to facilitate the reviewing of the relationship between Kenya and the US in matters, the status of non-NATO ally. And I want to ask you to lobby your senators and your congressmen to support that bill by giving facts of what is happening back at home, which you are aware. I've seen people back at home trying to blame me because of that matter that has been brought to the Senate. I did not bring it. I'm not a senator in the US. They are directed their anger at me. All manner of accusations. I did not bring the matter, but I support it because the issues that have been raised by the Americans is the issues that I raise every day. The issues of extrajudicial killings, abductions, the issue of interfering in Sudan by working with a terrorist group called RSF, the issue of working with Alshabaab. Those issues were brought by the Americans. And all I said is that Kenyans should support by giving information to the legislators here to enable America hold William Ruto to account. And I did ask the Americans not to impose sanctions on Kenya because Kenya is innocent, but to apply sanctions against William Ruto as a person so that he can be brought to order. So I found a member of parliament from Mandera there in parliament making a lot of noise, saying that I'm against the people of Mandera. I have nothing against the people of Mandera, and he should not drag the people of Mandera into the challenges William Ruto is facing with the American people. Nowhere did anybody say that the people of Mandera have committed any crime against anybody. What we said is that the Americans are saying William Ruto met some bad people in Mandera. If you meet bad people in Mandera, it does not mean that the people of Mandera are party to the meeting that you had. So I also saw the senator trying to say that we have a problem with the Somali community because we are asking that William Ruto be held to account. Nobody has any problem against any community. The Somalis are part of Kenya, and they are a very serious community that has done a lot in the transformation of our country and the economic development of our nation. They are very serious drivers of our economy. They are very aggressive in business. So the senator of Mandera, don't drag the Somali community into the challenges facing William Ruto. It's William Ruto who is being told to account by the Americans for his activities with the terrorist organizations. The people of Mandera, the Somali community, are innocent and have nothing to do with it. And by the way, I want to tell the politicians there in northern Kenya, if you want to defend William Ruto, defend him. But don't try to create a wedge between us and the Somali community because we have nothing against them. They are part of Kenya, and they too are telling us they are suffering just like the rest of Kenyans. And doesn't mean because Aden Ware is eating, the Somali community are eating. They are also complaining of marginalization. They are complaining of bad economic times. In fact, the Somali community, more than any other, has really borne the brunt of extrajudicial killings and forced disappearances for a long time. So let nobody try to create a wedge between those opposed to William Ruto and communities. Let William Ruto answer the Americans for what he has done and what he has not done. I saw the Minister for Interior saying that we should be asked to help in investigations in this matter. We cannot help in any investigations because the Kenya government has not initiated any investigations against William Ruto. The people who have initiated investigations is the American Senate. So if there is need for us to help in investigations, we'll help the American Senate, not the Kenya government, because the Kenya government has not initiated any investigation. Number two, the Kenyan government cannot investigate William Ruto because those policemen work under him. And all the things he is doing of killing people and abducting people, he is doing with the very police. So there is nobody stupid enough to go and report William Ruto to the Kenyan police. Nothing will be done against it. So whoever sees, please Don't sell fear to us. You know we cannot buy. In any case, it is the same CS who said that when 5 chiefs were abducted by Alshabaab, he said that they will go into negotiation with the Alshabaab to have them released. How can you negotiate with people you do not know? And since they were released after negotiations, the CS Interior knows much more than anybody else on who are the leaders of Alshabaab, because he said publicly that he'll initiate negotiations for the release of the 5 chiefs who were abducted. The 5 chiefs were released after successful negotiations with the Alshabaab. So the CS Interior knows whom he negotiated with. So if he wants information as who are the leaders of Alshabaab, he is in a better position to tell the people of Kenya and the world and the Americans, because he has already had business with them that has been successful. So please, the Americans have asked the questions. I'm not the one who has asked. If I'm required to help the things I know on the issues in Sudan, the dealings with RSF, I'm ready to help. But the Americans, not the Kenyan government, because the Kenyan government has not raised any issue. They are comfortable with what is happening. And you know, I see people threatening other people. I've seen that fellow called Soprano issuing a lot of threats every day. Oh, mimi ni fire, mimi ni noma. Oh, don't push me around. I want to tell Soprano to take time to read Wallace Feinka. In one of his greatest works, he says, a tiger does not proclaim its tigerhood, it bounces. So, if you are what you say you are, act. Don't keep on threatening. You know, that's what Ole Feinka says. A tiger does not proclaim its tigerhood, it bounces. So please spare those threats for other characters. Rick G is beyond threats, and you know it. And we must speak for the people of Kenya, because if we don't do it, there will be no country. You have compromised Raila Odinga, you have bought parliament, you have bought Senate. If you succeed in silencing us to talk for the people of Kenya, who will speak for the people of Kenya? I cannot be intimidated. The Gen Zs cannot be intimidated. We'll continue to speak for the people of Kenya for as long as it takes, until we are able to remove this government from power and get another government that is responsive to the needs of the people of Kenya, that respects human rights, that has good governance, that is accountable and transparent, and a government that is prepared to be held to account by the people of Kenya. And in the parting shot, I want to ask the UN Security Council to take note that Kenya is an anchor state that has played a very significant role in the Horn of Africa and ensuring there is peace and stability. And the American government has worked very closely with Kenya in supporting anti-terrorism activities with finance and intelligence. We want Kenya to remain there. We want Kenya to continue playing a very important role in stabilizing the Horn of Africa and the region. And the problem is not Kenya. The problem is the leadership. So the UN Security Council, the United States, they need to deal with William Ruto so that Kenya is preserved to continue playing that important role as an anchor state to ensure there is peace and stability in the region. But when we get a reckless leader who is interfering with the affairs of the neighboring countries and working with those opposed to those governments, that is why Kenya's name is being cast in bad light. So mimi nimeshukuru sana. I have said many things, and nataka mniulize maswali